You know the saying, you gotta spend money to save money? Well, today I'm going to be telling you guys about the 10 things that I actually purchased and spent money on that have saved me so much time, so much money. And number 5, if you struggle with laundry, I'm going to change your life. As always, you guys will find everything I talk about linked down in my description box. All right, the very first thing that I recently just discovered is this Amazon smart plug. Now, this is not just any kind of like smart home device. If you have trouble waking up early in the morning, my goal has always been to get up at 5 a.m. I've purchased the Hatch alarm clock. I've done all kinds of different routines. I have never ever been able to consistently wake up at 5 a.m. until this product came along. What this is a smart plug that you can plug any device in your home into, and you can use it with the Amazon Alexa app, and you can actually tell it to turn on or off at a specific time. You can set schedules. You can turn off the TV at a specific time. Your Wi-Fi, make your kids work for the Wi-Fi. You can set it to turn on your coffee machine at a specific time. There are so many different uses for this plug. I use it to wake me up at 5 a.m. So every single night, I just let it know, hey, Alexa, would you turn on this plug at 5 a.m.? And it says, sure thing. And every single time at 5 a.m., because I have like a little dimmer switch on my lamp, I set it to the lowest setting, and at 5 a.m., my lamp turns on. I pair it with my Amazon Alexa account to also turn on some soft, calming music, and the light paired with the nice calming music as my alarm has been able to wake me up at 5 a.m. every single morning. All right, the second thing is something I already mentioned. It's the Alexa home system. I have an Alexa literally everywhere in my house. And this really helps us with routines, setting alarms, setting reminders. Anytime that I think of, oh, I need to buy this, it doesn't matter what room I'm in because I already have them set up throughout the house. I just say, Alexa, put milk on my shopping list, and it hears me, and I have a running list that I check in on weekly before I go and do my grocery shopping. This is super helpful for even making announcements. For instance, if I'm cooking downstairs and my kids are all upstairs, instead of screaming like I used to come down for dinner, I'll just say, hey, Alexa, make an announcement and tell everyone to come down for dinner. It will announce it on all the devices upstairs. All right, the third thing that I recently purchased that has saved me a ton of money is the Ninja multi-cooker. This is a 10-in-1 appliance that is a slow cooker. It sautés, it roasts, it steams, it keeps warm. It does so many different features that I basically got rid of my Instant Pot as well as my rice cooker and my slow cooker because I can do everything in there. I recently made a French onion soup, and instead of having to saute on a separate pan, I sauteed everything in the Ninja, and then I went ahead and I put in all of my recipe ingredients and I let it simmer as a slow cooker. So I literally had everything ready in one pot, didn't have to dirty up any dishes. All right, this next purchase was also one of those doom scrolling purchases that I was like, this has to exist, and it does. And it's a washing machine for your makeup brushes. I now use this every single Friday, and my skin has not been breaking out as much because, let's be real, I'm not gonna spend the time to hand wash every makeup brush every single week. But with this little machine, it's inexpensive, it's so easy to use. You just put in all of your makeup brushes, you put in whatever makeup removing solution you want into the water, and you just press a button, and it will literally spin it both directions like a washing machine for several minutes, and it will get it all clean. I will run it through the cycle just a couple of times until I see that the water is running clear, but it's not done there yet, because as soon as they are clean and washed, you will actually take them and transfer them to the other side of the machine where it will blow them dry, but also use a blue light to sanitize every single brush. Okay, if you struggle with putting away laundry, I'm not talking about transferring from the washer to the dryer. We can all do that, it's not an issue. I feel like the issue lies in once everything is dry, it'll sit there for a day, 2, 3, sometimes you'll take it out and then it'll sit on your couch. You know, I only say this because, trust me, I've been there. I created a solution because it worked for my brain, and when I shared about it, so many women were like, yes, this is it. And honestly, I have tried so many laundry solutions, and this is the only one that works for me, my lifestyle, and the way that my brain functions. So I bought a clothing rack from Amazon, and I specifically chose one that has a shelf on the top and on the bottom as well. And I also measured my garment rack to see how wide it is across. And then I found stacking baskets, particularly these baskets, because of the way that they slide out and the way that they stack. But not only that, they're completely collapsible if you don't need them. So after I measured and I found these baskets, I just created a system where I gave each person 2 baskets and I labeled them who goes what, where. So my husband has 2 baskets, I have 2 baskets, and each of my kids have 2 baskets. Now, as soon as my laundry is done drying, I don't even waste the time of putting it into a laundry basket. Immediately after the dryer is done, I will walk into my laundry room and I will start folding. While it's still warm, straight out of the dryer, I will put it into the corresponding baskets. Now, what this does is it eliminates the need for me to touch the item more than I need to. And that way I'm not wasting time transferring from the dryer to the couch to where I then need to hang it up, then I need to like fold it. I mean, it completely eliminates that entire step. So I will fold it to whoever basket it belongs to, and I will either sort it every other day, or if the baskets are full, like if it was a heavy laundry day, I will then wheel the entire cart out and I will go and I will put everything away in everyone's rooms. And the fact that I can roll this cart with me is so helpful because I'm not running back and forth with the baskets. Now, if you live in a 2-story house, you can still do this just with the baskets and not the rolling rack. The only difference is you'll be grabbing a couple of those stacking baskets with you, going downstairs, sorting things, and then once the baskets are all empty, you will just put them back in your laundry room. Now, I also have my hangers on this rack as well, so that as I'm taking things out, if it's something that I would normally hang on a hanger, I'm not even putting it anywhere. I'm immediately putting it on the hanger, and then I'm hanging it in the corresponding closet. This was a life-changing system, and I've just heard so many women let me know that this is helping them in their homes. All right, the next purchase that I made that is saving me so much money is a meat grinder. It's an inexpensive meat grinder, but 2 months ago, I started grinding my own meat and buying meat wholesale a month ahead and then storing everything for the entire month in my freezer. Because when I set the price of ground chicken at like $6 a pound, knowing very well that I can get chicken at like $1.99, sometimes $3.99 a pound, depending, but a whole lot less than $6, and then put in a couple minutes of effort and grind it myself. Not only is it cheaper, it's actually a lot healthier because you know exactly the cut of meat that's going into your ground mix. Now, I have used this on chicken thighs, chicken breast, I have used it on pork as well. You can also use it on any kind of meat. You can make your own ground beef. This is a very inexpensive, non-commercial grinder because I only use it once a month. If you're going to use it a lot more often, I would recommend buying something that's a little stronger. But for my purposes, this has been incredible. It saves me a ton of money, a ton of time. I store everything away in the freezer for the entire month, and I know that I have fresh ground meat all the time. If we were sticking to a strict grocery budget, I'm pretty sure a good third of that would probably go out the window because of ice cream. So because our kids love ice cream, I love ice cream, we all love ice cream in this house, I decided to buy an inexpensive ice cream machine, look up a really good recipe, and lo and behold, I loved it. The process was simple, easy. There was really nothing to it, and we got a pint of ice cream and it was delicious. Mind you, that pint was gone like in a day, but I have all the materials and I have the machine to go ahead and make it myself. It was so creamy, so delicious, and the fact that I can make whatever flavor I want. If my kids want a different flavor, they can make that as well. And then I just purchased little pint-sized ice cream reusable buckets off of Amazon, and that's what I use to put in the mix into. I freeze it and it looks like store-bought, tastes like store-bought, honestly probably better. Saves us a ton of money because we can also customize all the mix-ins. Each kid can make their own ice cream, their own flavor, and it has just saved us a ton of money. Okay, now the next product that also kind of goes with the meat prep and the food prep and saving a ton of money in the kitchen is a Zwilling handheld vacuum sealer. Now, I do have a vacuum sealer that's a machine, but oftentimes if you're vacuum sealing just various smaller items, this is so much easier to pull out. You don't need to grab an entire vacuum sealing machine. You don't need big bags. You have this little handheld device that I've been using for years. I purchased this with my own money years and years ago. I even have a review video on my YouTube channel, but I absolutely have been loving this since I've been discovering the whole meal prep method that I've been using in my kitchen. And since I've been doing that, this handheld device has been so handy to have. It's so helpful for my freezer garlic prep that I do, for sealing up herbs, smaller portions, leftovers, smaller bags of ground meat, maybe not those like large large items, but this one tiny investment, yes, you can also use it with special glass containers, but I honestly don't even use it for that. I just use it for those specific little bags that they sell, and it has been amazing. Those bags are washable, resealable. You don't need to cut them across. They just open up like a Ziploc bag, which makes it all the more worthwhile. And my latest purchase that is actually saving me a lot of money is this Shark Stain Force. And this is saving me a ton of money because I have pets, I have kids, and the amount of stains that we have on any day, week, on any given basis is insane. So to be able to just grab this and have this on hand, it's super lightweight, it's super convenient to use. I have a full tutorial and a comparison of this machine versus the Bissell machine on my channel, so if you want to check that out. But the convenience of this machine is the fact that everything comes in one storage caddy, it's completely cordless, and it's so easy. You don't need a special solution, you don't need a water reservoir. This is the first one of its kind cordless, no water solution, basically just an extraction machine that is very efficient, effective, and just so handy to have. I do have a white couch. I choose to have a white couch with kids and pets, but at least having a machine like this kind of helps because I know that I can extend the life of my furniture, my dining room chairs, my swivel chairs, and my carpets. In the long run, it's really saved me a ton of money. One more product that I actually have had in my kitchen for over 12 years is a very inexpensive food processor. Now, this particular one comes with all kinds of different attachments, but really what I use it for is to chop up my garlic. I process garlic once a year and I freeze it all. Yeah, you heard me. I don't peel garlic for a year. I will buy a bag of peeled garlic from Costco and I will process everything in my food processor, and then I'll put it in my molds, and then I will freeze it in my freezer, and I have it on hand for whenever I need to use chopped up fresh garlic, and it has been absolute chef's kiss. Now, what this is really great for also is for shredding a lot of things at once. So if I'm making a French onion soup, I can slice a ton of onions right away. I can shred a ton of carrots right away. It basically does everything for you. If I'm making a large pot of soup or any kind of like salad that requires a ton of chopping or shredding, this thing handles it so quick, so fast. Also for making like pie crust, all kinds of things. But this has saved me a ton of money because I can process all my garlic. I never have garlic that is wasted. And whenever I'm processing my foods, I can process it through my processor. And then I will use my little freezer bags with this Willing vacuum sealer, and I will literally just freeze everything, store it neatly in my freezer or my refrigerator, and it's ready to go. It's prepped. I'm not wasting money on food, prepping everything at once. Super simple. This has saved me a ton of money. Okay, these are just 10 of the items that I've spent money on that have saved me a bunch of money and or time in the long run or the short term. I have a ton more things that I have invested into because of the amount of money that they save, but this is just one installment. If you like this video and if you're interested in shopping absolutely anything that I mentioned, you can find everything in the description box down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one.